Yo, 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 what's up? It's your boy Shell back with another video. I'm here to talk to you about, is Jalen Duren the next Deandre Ayton? Let me tell you what I mean, man. Jalen Duren is up for a Supermax contract with Pistons for a potential 297 over 5 years. He's a restricted free agent. Jalen Duren averaged about 20 and 10 during the regular season. He had a breakout season for the Detroit Pistons, the first seed in the East. They looked very, very impressive. And more importantly, they held down the fort when Cade Cunningham was out with his injury with the punctured lung. Uh, reason why I say he could be the next DeAndre Ayton is because he flat out got exposed in the playoffs. He was a non factor in the playoffs. You go from making third team All NBA to basically being unplayable in the playoffs. My apologies for that, guys. You basically go to being unplayable in the playoffs. He got exposed, and DeAndre Ayton looked like it was a no brainer for the Suns to give him that money. Everyone thought going into the playoffs, it's a no brainer for the Pistons to give him that money. Um, but then they got exposed. And I mean, of course, DeAndre, and I'm not saying Jalen Duren's got all those attitude issues. We don't know nothing like that. I mean, Jalen Duren on the court is the exact opposite of DeAndre Ayton. He's a hustle player. He knows his role. But when I say he knows his role on the court, he plays his role very well, but he might not know his lane, man, because 5 years, 297, Mr. Jalen Duren, I don't think you're at the door yet, my man. And I think Detroit, man, it behoves you to stay there, bro. He's talking about going to Sacramento, talking about doing a sign and trade for him and Sabonis. Man, miss me with that, bro. Listen, it's important for Jalen Duren to get the bag. Don't get me wrong, my man. But the Pistons, Cade Cunningham going butter that bread for you, bro. Gonna butter that bread for you, man. And I understand that feelings might be hurt, just like with DeAndre Ayton. I mean, there was talks, they wasn't gonna give him the max. They matched the offer sheet. Oh, it's bad blood, man. It's about to be some bad blood between the Pistons and Jalen Duren, bro. Because you ain't giving me all my money. Because they certainly not offering that. They're going out there to letting you test free agency, man. If these NBA teams, if they really, really, really want you, they don't let you go out there, bro. They lock you up. Look, Austin Reeves got locked up before free agency even started, bro. They were like, he might go somewhere else. Give him the max. And I understand that Cade is not in a situation where he's putting pressure on the franchise like Luca is. But if you're Cade Cunningham, bro, I ain't going back to losing 20 plus straight games. I ain't doing that again. No way. You better keep Jalen Duren, or you better find a way to replace him. You better make some moves, man. Because the Pistons right now, man, they're my biggest loser in the offseason, man. And it's all in this holding pattern because of Jalen Duren. They can't make no moves. As they got to see what's going on with him. Jalen Duren, I think he should go back to the Pistons. And obviously, they're not going to give him the Supermax. I mean, he just does not. He's just not the level of player that you can pay 297 to, man. You just can't do it. He got exposed in the playoffs, unplayable in the playoffs. Jalen Duren, man, I'm all for you getting your bag, bro, but don't blow up, a prime opportunity for you to stay in Detroit, develop, grow your game, and grow alongside Cade Cunningham, bro. Sacramento, bro. Sacramento is a dumpster fire, man. I mean, I like Darius Acuff Jr., but that's it, man. And Sabonis is nice, but you trading him. Listen, bro. The Detroit Pistons, they got to figure this out. They got to figure this out, man, because every superstar is on the clock. I talked about it with Anthony Edwards. I talked about it with Scotty Barnes in previous videos, man. All these superstars, man, they putting these teams on the clock, man. These guys grew up watching KD and LeBron. And right now, Detroit, Cade Cunningham is looking. He's disappointed, man. He definitely wanted to go further in the playoffs, man. They had some real beef with the Knicks. They wanted the Knicks. Talking they wanted that smoke. Didn't get a chance to see him, and then he sees Philly getting better. He sees Miami getting better. Miami just picked up Giannis. If you're Kay Cunningham, we got to figure this out. And if it's not Jalen Duren, I understand. If you're Kay Cunningham, you got to understand the Pistons not wanting to give him the max. But who are we gonna bring in here to replace him? You ain't make no moves. We got worse. So I understand. I think they picked up Isaiah Joe. Listen, man, Isaiah Joe is a nice player. He's going to provide him some creativity, some ball handling, all that. But bro, they got to make some moves, man. You were the first seed. You're watching all these teams getting better, and then you might lose Jalen Duren in a signing trade. I mean, even if you take back a player like DeMontis Sabonis on defense, that's going to be a big problem for Detroit. Huge problem. DeMontis Sabonis is an offensive player. Might be looking good offensively, but you're not going to be a top seed in the East with playing no defense, man. Because you got some defensive teams out east. You got the Raptors, you got the Heat, you got the Knicks. So there's some defensive teams out east, and I think Boston. They're definitely going to a more defensive heavy lineup. See a steady diet of Mitch Robinson in that lineup too now. So a lot of defense, man. A lot of defense out east. This is wild to me. This is wild to me that the Pistons are screwing this up, man. They're so ahead on schedule. You're the first seed. I know you had a disappointing season, man, but there's moves to be made, man. There's moves to be made out there. And this is a little side nugget. I don't want to get too distracted because I think Jalen Duren is the main talking point in the video. But if Jalen Duren's not the guy, then how about you go out and you trade for a star like Pablo Banchero, who's disgruntled? See if you could do a deal for him. Give up some assets. Maybe you send Jalen Duren to a third team because I don't think the Magic will want him. But you figure out a way to pull off a player of that caliber if you're Detroit, man. You got to if you lose Jalen Duren, man. Detroit's got to be at least like they probably will take a step back just because they had such an immaculate season. But can't if you lose Jalen Duren, you can take a big, big step back. You can't lose him, man. Made 13 all and don't get me wrong. I'm saying the title of the video is Jalen Duren. Is he the next DeAndre Ayton? He could be, man. If he takes this money, with another team like Sacramento, and they work out a sign and trade, and his career just falls through, and he gets exposed. You know, he could find himself in that situation. So that's kind of the parallel I'm drawing between those two guys. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he's better than DeAndre Ayton, but these bigs, man, they utility bigs, and they look good in the system. And then you take them out elsewhere. I mean, DeAndre Ayton looked real good playing next to CP3. You remove CP3, how'd he look? You take Jalen Duren when you got to play more in a half court setting, and you're not running, and you're not getting all your hustle, steals, and turnovers, and he can't provide offense in the half court anymore. And Cade being the only ball handler, I mean, again, I know they got Isaiah Joe, but Cade being really the only dominant ball handler and creator is really going to put Detroit in some trouble if they can't retain Jalen Duren, or if they end up if they retain him at a number that's not suitable where they can't build around him. If they lock Jalen Duren into like a super max, that would be a huge mistake because then they're locked into him and Cade, and they have no flexibility. So we'll see. I hope the Pistons retain Jalen Duren because I want to see Cade Cunningham. I think he's big time, man. I want, or at least they trade him for a star. Detroit is yearning for great basketball. To see them lose all those games in a row just a year ago, and then to have the success they had this past season, it's just absolutely remarkable. 2 years ago, excuse me, is when they lost all those games. They made the playoffs the year before, excuse me. And I want to see them continue to grow. Jalen Duren's a big piece of that, but it's got to be for the right number. And if you're Jalen Duren, man, Don't become the next DeAndre Ayton. Don't become disgruntled over this free agency and sabotage your worth as a player. Don't be like I'm not Clint Capella because you kind of are you know a souped up version of Clint Capella. But that's my thoughts, man, on Jalen Duren's free agency. It's crazy that we're waiting on this big domino to fall. Detroit's in a holding pattern. They were the number one seed out east, and they've watched all the teams around them get better, and they're waiting on this situation with Jalen Duren to resolve before they can do anything about it. So this is your boy Shell back with another video. Let me know your thoughts. Comment down below what you want to hear me talk about next, and keep you updated. Please comment, like, subscribe. Peace.